Greetings and welcome to episode 37 of the Lott Carey WISE Digital Couch. My name is Doriel Anez Larrier from Brooklyn, New York, and I am your host for this evening. Very excited to be here with you all. Today, we are blessed and very, very highly favored to have as our guest none other than our Executive Secretary Treasurer, Reverend Emmett L. Dunn. So, on behalf of the leadership of Lott Carey, which does include our Executive Secretary Treasurer, Reverend Emmett Dunn, our President, Reverend Dr. Gina Stewart, Dr. Jesse Williams, our first Vice President, Dr. James Victor, our second Vice President, and the leadership of WISE, Reverend Dr. Angelita Clifton, the first Vice President, Reverend Dr. Brenda McBurrow, second Vice President, Sister Lynette Richardson, Brother Gabriel, who is the team leader for Men on Missions, as well as Reverend Brittany Mingo, who is the youth department leader. We say welcome. Tonight, we are going to be having our conversation continuing on the Dunamis power, testimonies and thanksgivings. Please welcome to our digital couch, our Executive Secretary Treasurer, Reverend Emmett L. Dunn. Good evening, sir.
Good evening and happy post-resurrection.
Yes, happy post-resurrection.
As always, great to be here with you, Sister Doriel, and your leadership and all those who, finding the time to join us this evening. Good evening, and it's good to be here.
Excellent, excellent. I would be remiss if I do not have some, I think we'll call them wise announcements. And actually, no, Lott Carey announcements and wise announcements as well. First of all, what is coming up in the next few days is our spring session. So please make sure everyone has the opportunity to, it's not in the DMV area this time, it is closer to the New York, New Jersey area, and that will be at Fountain Baptist Church. And please join us. It will be April, I'm just forgetting, sorry. In 2 weeks.
The 18th and the 19th, yeah.
Sorry about April 18th and 19th. Please forgive me. And so please just make your way, drive down 95, 78, wherever you got to do. Come on up to Fountain Baptist Church, April 18th and 19th for the spring session. We will also have what's coming up right after that is the registration for our annual session, which will be in Tennessee this year, will be live on the site April 15th. So please go over to the lottcarey.org website in order to look for the registration, which will be open again on April 15th. Following that will be the third annual Jumping for Justice. And that will also be held at Fountain Baptist Church. And that will be happening May 11th, 5/11/24, 5/11/24, 5/11/24. Please come on out. Whether or not you have your jump rope, it's okay. We would love to see you anyway in order to just celebrate and to recognize and to give great recognition to the women who are survivors and have some fun as well. And finally, June 22nd to the 27th at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore we are welcoming back our IYD, our International Youth Development. And so we would love to see you there as well. Again, June 22nd to the 27th at University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Please come on down and join us. So without any other pontification, let's get into tonight's conversation. There are two pieces of information, though. Of course, we are donning in black. You see our Executive Secretary Treasurer in the I am Lott Carey. I am donning the Jumping for Justice shirt. Please join us on Thursdays, every Thursday, in black. Ecumenicals around the world are recognizing and giving more awareness and advocacy to people who are survivors and thrivers of this year. Our focus is on sexual exploitation of children in travel and tourism. And so we want to continue to spread that word, and we'd love for your help as well. If you are following us on either the YouTube page or the Facebook page, please let us know. Please drop in the comments. Actually, I already see some comments. Let us know your church, your pastor, where you're hailing from. Drop some comments, ask some questions, and let's get into this conversation. Thank you very much. So Reverend Dunn, thank you once again for being on our conversation today. This is again episode 37, so it really is the beginning of our fourth year. The beginning of our fourth year. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share in this way and help to spread the word. We are here to actually have a conversation again with you and ask you the question about your testimony and an opportunity to give thanks. We know you literally have gone around the world and back again. That's how we're going to frame this conversation tonight. And we'd like to know, how did you get here from there and why go back? Tell us your story.
Well, once again, good evening, and I want to thank you, Sister Dorielle, and your leadership for all that you do with and for Lott Carey. As you know, we don't refer to WISE as auxiliaries anymore or as an auxiliary. We view you as our ministry partner, and you come alongside of what we call the parent body, which includes all of us, to reach out to the ends of the world in carrying out the mandate that we believe God has called us to do as concerned Christians for our brothers and sisters. Well, where do we start? For most of you who have been with us for a few years now, know I am from Liberia. Liberia holds a special place not only in the life of Lott Carey, but Liberia holds a special place in the life of the African American community. We say that because Liberia really came out of an experiment. The nation of Liberia really came out of an experiment when white America felt that they had no use for us anymore. They wanted to find a place to send us back, and Liberia came about as a land where those formerly enslaved could find and make a home. And it was based on that the Reverend Lott Carey and a few others from cities outside of Richmond, to include Richmond itself, that made their way to Liberia, and out of their desire for freedom, out of their desire to live life as God intended it to be lived, as free men and women created in the image and likeness of God. They formed themselves into a commonwealth that later evolved into being what we call today the nation of Liberia. Lott Carey's name, the Reverend Lott Carey's name, is etched in the history and the very fabric of the nation Liberia, because he's remembered for being a man who embraced God's people, who took the word of God to those who had not been privileged to hear it. And so when the name Lott Carey is mentioned, it's always associated with good works. And so, as we say in Lott Carey, it is no surprise that our community, our missional community, is named after a man that gave his entire life for the advancement of God's kingdom. And it is from in that space that I come. Being a Liberian is from in that context of a nation that was birthed out of an experiment for freedom and emancipated people that I come. So I was birthed into the Baptist faith because my mother was, or still is, a very devoted Baptist, and we were members of the Providence Baptist Church. Again, we have to connect it with Lott Carey, because the Providence Baptist Church was founded by the Reverend Lott Carey. He was the first pastor of Providence, and that church has an unending history, 200 years of existence, um, of serving God's people in Liberia. It was at that church that my early childhood development happened. It was there that I came to faith. It was there that I was baptized. It was out of that space that I accepted the call to ministry. It was where I was ordained in 1987. It is where I had my first professional ministerial assignment, where I served until I left in 1988 to study in these United States. So that's the context for which, I come from, a context of a people seeking freedom, seeking emancipation, and seeking to live life as God intended it to be lived, in the confines of freedom and godly humanity.
I if you see my eyes sort of darting to the side, I do my own like research on the fly, and I came up with this article from blackpast.org, African American History, Lott Carey, 1780 to 1828, and so it's in the YouTube stream, and so if anyone is interested in pulling on that to get to verify and validate what Reverend Dunn is speaking about, that is one. And then here is another one. It's Front Page Africa Online. Liberia's oldest church celebrates 200-year anniversary with pledge to transform lives, renew communities. So I've also added that. I just have to say it is amazing when, and we say this in church, what man meant for evil, God meant for good. And so here it is. This is an experiment gone well. It's an experiment gone well. Oh, let's just see how those folks will do, if they go back. Let's just see. And unfortunately, I have to say that before some people have opened their eyes about the connection to the continent, the connection to Africa, and I'll say the Africa proper, not specifically to Liberia, but of course we'll focus on Liberia, that maybe not until about 20, 25 years ago did the joke stop of, well, why would we be going back to Africa? Those people aren't my people, or don't nobody know us there. We wouldn't fit in this situation that you're referring to 200 years plus now ago. That thought of, well, yeah, my family came and we're in America, but guess what, America? There are people back on the continent that also need to hear the word of God, that also need to find, to not find because they didn't lose it, but to connect in another way to the God of their ancestors that they always knew. I would like to help in that. I'm willing to go. Am I connecting some dots here?
Certainly you are.
Right. And so you are literal part and parcel that the experiment has gone so well that the family connection has started there, come here, gone back there with Lott Carey, and then 100 plus years later, you have made your way back across the shores in order to do what? To continue the good work, to continue sharing the message, and not just the message from the continent to the States, and then rebuilding Monrovia, Liberia, and Providence, Liberia. But now you're taking that same message, and in essence, it's like that spark. It's like the pebble that's that gets dropped into the river. Your expansion, your continuation of the expansion of the organization is now stretching the hands across the entire globe. That's an experiment gone well.
Well put. Well put. Yeah. And as I said, when I accepted the call from Lott Carey, when I publicly accepted it at the annual session in 2019 when we were in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I think I remember saying something like, you know, almost 200 years, America gave Liberia a gift in the person of the Reverend Lott Carey. And fast forward, Liberia is giving Lott Carey a gift in the person of myself. I come to this opportunity because I do not see my role in Lott Carey as work or as a job, but it's a ministerial opportunity. I come to this space knowing fully well of the legacy of not only the man, Lott Carey, but I come understanding the legacy and the missional ethos of the community that we call Lott Carey. Because out of that, we are informed as to how to engage brothers and sisters, regardless of their ethnicity or their language, culture, or traditions. We are informed by that missional ethos of this faith community as to how to engage those persons to whom God has given us that opportunity to interact with. So I rejoice for what I would consider to be an opportunity of a lifetime, because it's not very often that anyone, gets the opportunity to represent an authentic, uh, professional, God-centered organization such as Lott Carey. And I deemed it as a blessing from God and as a high moment in my professional ministerial journey. So I rejoice. We talk about Thanksgiving. I give thanks to God for the opportunity to serve God's people through the community that we call Lott Carey.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. I have some comments that are on the side, so I'm putting them up. So if you see that your name says Facebook user, it's because we don't know what your name is, but we would love to know. Thank you so much for the people who are actually representing from around the country. So I do want to pull those up for a moment. First of all, yes, we are recognizing that this is Thursdays in Black. Thank you to all those people who are actually taking pictures and actually posting them on our Lott Carey WISE Salt Facebook page, and with your pictures, with your black, with your pearls. The ladies, thank you so much. And the brothers who love us as well. You're showing up in your black as well. And you are hashtagging Thursdays in Black. Again, the focus for this year is SECT, SECTT, the sexual exploitation of children in travel and tourism. And we are partnering, of course, with people across the globe in order to do the same thing. And there is, shout out is not even the word, but thank you so much to the women and the men who showed up for the past 31 days. I know there's some people who are waking up at 6 o'clock like, I do now. Who we talking about? I can't talk to all the people and just say good morning, good morning, good morning. And it's been such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful opportunity. And it starts our mornings off well to focus on a country a day and really delve into the intricacies of what sect looks like in that particular country. And then, of course, to lift up the people, the people who are on the ground trying to eradicate the children, the families of the children, the perpetrators, and just lifting them up to God. And so we definitely want to say thank you to all those who participated, the leaders, the people who prayed, the people who read, the people who closed out, and all of those hearts, minds, and souls who lifted up a prayer with earnest. Like they were prayer warriors coming out of the box from all over across the country, and it was beautiful. So I want to say thank you. Cannot do another moment without saying that. Thank you to Pittsburgh. Thank you to Summit. Thank you very much. Fountain is, of course, Fountain has to represent. We understand that. We love it. Second Baptist Church, Southwest District Heights. Okay, Maryland. Sister Vernell. All right, Portsmouth. Good, good, good. Oh, yeah. So the conversation about beautiful country and people, the people of Liberia. We have Rehoboth who's showing up. We have Suffolk. We have Richmond. Here's a beautiful comment. Some of Lott Carey's descendants are still members, and if you've never been, you must go. So those people who were privileged and honored to go during the actual celebration 2 years ago, please continue to tell us more stories so that we know. Because some people who still have not stepped onto the soil of the continent, who have whatever the fear, um, reservations,
Mhm.
we need to hear more stories so that people do not still ask us the question, are we going to sleep in huts when we go? If you want to do that, that's your choice. But no, there are hotels. Don't drink the water, but there are hotels. I'm just saying. Thank you. Yes, we thank you. Yes, yes, yes. And 31 Days of Prayer was educational as well as inspirational. Oh, Reverend Dunn, will we be going back to Liberia?
Oh,
That's
sure.
a question for you.
The answer is always yes.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yes, we are thankful and looking forward to it. All right. So, Reverend Dunn, someone said, I'm looking forward to another short trip. Listen, if you really want, you could actually get dual citizenship. I'm just saying, we have to continue to drop that into the ethos of people. You can have dual citizenship. Just suggesting. Okay, Dr. Brenda McFarrell, thank you very much. Good to see you. Excellent. All right. So, if there are any other questions, please definitely show up, drop them so that we can add them to the conversation. But outside of that, I have I have an additional question, and this has to do, of course, with your testimony. To the people who you are attempting to meet outside of, let's say, the church borders. And this is always a conversation, not just for NGOs, but for Lott Carey in particular, and for because we focus really on our Baptist denomination. And as we're reaching across the borders, we're reaching across the highways. How would you like for us to continue to be ambassadors and share this word? Because over the past, let's say, 10 years, we've started to sort of like venture into some different spaces to get other ears onto our conversations. We've expanded in, we have like our looking on the side, looking at the YouTube, our Lott Carey YouTube. We are definitely reaching into more colleges, and we're trying to spread the word across our neighborhoods. We need all hands, feet, hearts, minds, souls on deck. Spreading the word about Liberia, about Lott Carey, the person, Lott Carey, the ministry, Lott Carey, the mission. How best can we take this word out to get more people to love that mission? Because your testimony is a testimony that we hear. We want to continue to give the testimony of the Lott Carey through you to other people.
I think for over the many years now, Lott Carey continues to witness through the love of Christ. A very small percentage of what we do outside in the world has to do with what we call direct evangelism. A very, very small percentage of what we do is direct evangelism, but we do a lot of indirect evangelism. Let's look at our work in India for an example. In India, we boast of having well over 10,000 students. Over 10,000 students. 80% of those students are not Christians. 80% of those students are not Christians, but they're exposed to the gospel. That's indirect evangelism. Our work in Ethiopia, as Wise would know more than most others, is toward Ethiopian students. It is not within the context of a religious setting. It is strictly on an academic institution campus. All right. Again, indirect evangelism because they know that our work with the African AIDS Initiative, they know that we are a Christian organization. Um, the work that we do in Jamaica, it is not out of the context of a church. It is strictly social. So I say all this to say, to answer your question directly, that Lott Carey has always been involved in spreading the word, but not the traditional way, not with crusades, not with, uh, you know, building churches, even though we do that. One of the major things we do in Kenya, we build churches. Uh, we're in the process now of building 10 new churches in Kenya, 6 of which we've already completed. So we do some of that. But the what we believe that we are called to do is not one track. It's just not preaching the gospel with words, but it's preaching the gospel with love. And that's why our tagline is, you know, uh, transforming the world. We have to transform the world. We transform the world by touching, and we touch through love. So we talk about touching lives with the transforming love. Uh, we don't end it and say transforming love of Jesus Christ, but we know exactly what that love is. So that's how we do it, and that's what we continue to do. Lott Carey has impacted 27 countries over our lifetime. Currently, we are still connected to those 27 countries, but in different ways, primarily through press support. But we are what we call connected in a tangible way through 14 ministries in 11 countries, to include what we do here in the States. And uh, we confidently can add a 12th country, Sierra Leone, because over the last 2.5 years, we've been engaged in Sierra Leone by providing clean, wholesome drinking water for communities in Sierra Leone. And we are now in the final stages of concluding an MOU between Alfred Street and the Ghana Baptist Convention, where, if all goes according to plan, we'll be engaging that community for 5 to 6 years, beginning, in 2025, with other initiatives. So, Lott Carey, we are expanding, but we are not changing the message. We're not changing the medium by which that message is being used to reach, God's people wherever they may be.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for the person who just posted. Reverend Dunn and Lott Carey is standing with Haiti for such a time as this. That'll be for a different conversation. But yes, our brothers and sisters in Haiti are going through something serious right about now, and we're all thankful that before there was this big issue that is on the covers and on the TVs, that Lott Carey was in and around and through supporting Haiti on the front line, the children, women, policy. We're in there, and so we want to say thank you. Definitely, we want to say thank you. So here's my last and I guess like final comment or final question, and this is literally just circling back to the involvement in India. Some people would say, or some people might say, uh, "Do you just care for those who already know?" And to just hear again that we are in a country that the majority of the country is not a part of our spiritual discipline, and we go anyway, and we serve anyway, and we care anyway, because people need to hear. Children, families don't need to necessarily starve just because they may not call the same name for the creator that we call, but we know that we have the heart and the mind, but we also give the hands on the ground and the feet on the ground and the relationships to build, to expand. And it's extremely important to continue to tell or mention that testimony, and to say thanks for that, because people might think, are you going to proselytize? But the indirect love and the serving and the connections, let them see Jesus in action. And by feeding people, that's Jesus in action. So I'm very thankful that you just shared part of that testimony, because some people need to hear. And then some people, so person mentioned Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is phenomenal, right? The Addis Ababa University students, and they would do some work in Ethiopia. Um, on that note, Ken, and this is about the next the annual session. The annual session this year, what I am aware of is that every other year we have a different set of partners who come. This year, what are the countries, if you are aware,
Yeah.
are we going to hear from and see and get to hug and celebrate and hear their stories?
This year we will be inviting from the continent friends from Ethiopia, from Zimbabwe. We know Zimbabwe has a new leader since our friend and colleague died in a tragic motor accident. We will be receiving a partner from the Baptist Convention of South Africa. If you were in Greensboro, we had a partner from Cape Town, the NUMDOs that's dealing with that working with Teen Challenge. This year we're going to have the representative from the Baptist Convention of South Africa. We're also going to have our friend from Nigeria will be with us. So those are the ones coming from the continent. We will have our friends from Jamaica with us, as well as Haiti, as you know, is always invited because of the close proximity. The issue has been getting the U.S. visa for one of our partners. We are working with 3 entities in Haiti. Most of us are familiar with Mission of Grace, our most recent partner in 2015 or so. But we also, our long traditional partner has been the Strategic Union of Baptist Churches in Haiti. And so we are hoping that they will be able to be with us, as well as from the Baptist Convention of Haiti, that we help over the years, help them with the youth leadership development as well. So those are the countries that would be with us this year. And again, our sister, the Reverend Brenda Harewood, if she is in the country, obviously she will be with us as well.
Okay, I was trying to take notes as you were doing that so I can put it up. So we have, here we go. So we have South Africa, Ethiopia, the Baptist Convention of South Africa, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Jamaica, Haiti, and the Baptist Convention of Haiti, as well as Guyana with Sister Harewood. Beautiful. Yes. So everybody knows Sister Lynn Joseph. Everybody knows Sister Lynn Joseph of Mission of Grace. She is a beautiful spirit, and I love hearing
Certainly is, yeah.
her story of seeing the big black man coming to like rescue us, because we haven't seen black men come to participate, and that's just always a beautiful story. So here's one last question I think we can end with, and I think this is a beautiful summation. What would you say to the little boy or girl sitting in the pew at Providence? That is a beautiful summative question. What would you say to them today if you were in Providence right now about your testimony, your Thanksgiving? What would you say, pour into that child?
Be available and God will do the rest. Be available and God will do the rest. I could never have told you that in my wildest dream that I would be in this space. Um, but again, my career path has taken some surprising turns. Uh, uh, Little did I know that I will work for a much larger organization, the Baptist World Alliance, for well over 22 years. But what I do now is unique and special because I represent people who look like me and I serve people who look like me.
And I think that's an amazing testimony, to work with people that look like you and to serve people that look like you. We don't necessarily need to say much more about that because we know the inherent story behind that. It's beautiful to be able to be in the space of people that you share more than just air with, that you share a common story, no matter what land your family may have been placed on temporarily, but to then give all of that energy and more to serve the people that are from that same lineage. I think that's the mic drop right there. I really do. I really do. Let me just put up these last couple of comments. Um, of course, we have to have the purple hearts. We love that. Yes, I love it. Be available. Yes, thank you so much for restating that. Here's the amens from the amen corner. I love it. On that note, folks, it has been a beautiful, beautiful evening. We are thankful that you were here with us. I think I'm just going to ride out on this quote: be available and God will do the rest. If there's any other comments or questions, you can always leave them here either on the YouTube page, the Lott Carey TV YouTube page. You can leave it on the Lott Carey WISE Salt Facebook page, and someone can definitely add on and continue to chime in. And you can also just continue to ask questions if you'd like. And one of the moderators, one of them, will get the information to Reverend Dunn. We look forward to having everyone at one of these events that's coming up. I love the statement that we always say: everybody, come on, say it with me, is somebody in Lott Carey. I never would have thought, let's say maybe 4 decades ago, that I would be sitting here hosting these conversations. And just like Reverend Dunn said, be available and God will do the rest. Reverend Dunn, you can give the last word and we will close out.
Well, once again, thank you. It's always a pleasure to sit in the couch and to share with you. Let me give a shout out to our staff back in the office, Mrs. Tanja Peterson, Dr. Amanda Haynes, Brother Tiba Goatley, Reverend Aaron Henry, and Sister Connie Davy, and to the guy who makes sure that all of the dollar signs are accounted for, Mr. Junior Cox. Thank you guys for making us look good every time. And to your fearless leader, Dr. Clifton, thank you. Thank you for always supporting the work that we do. Good night. Amen.
Everyone. All right.
Yes,
Done. Hold on a second. All right. Thank you all once again for being available, for being a part of us, and for celebrating the work that we do. This has been episode 37. Again, we are in the beginning of our 4th year doing this work. We all love it. We are all thankful and grateful. And we're especially thankful that our executive secretary treasurer took out the time to sit on the couch with us to give us his testimony and his moment of Thanksgiving. We will see you in a couple of days for some people at the spring session. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for the Jumping for Justice. We'll see you right back here the first Thursday of the beautiful month of May for a number of reasons, in order to have the next conversation of Testimonies and Thanksgivings. We will see you then.